Well, today on this video, it's actually Halloween. I can't think of a better video to talk about than narcissists. Imagine that. But a lot of times when we talk about narcissists, we're talking about the mask that they put on, but then also what they do to you. So today we're going to talk about gaslighting, and we're going to talk about future faking, and we're going to talk about love bombing, all under the umbrella of how a narcissist actually distorts your reality, changes what you view, changes what you perceive, and changes what you think long term through different levels of manipulation. So we're going to dive into a couple different cunning tactics that a lot of times narcissists use to keep you feeling manipulated, to keep you feeling like your reality is twisted. If you're new here, my name is Ben Taylor. I'm a self-aware narcissist on this channel to provide awareness of narcissistic abuse. I break people free from trauma bonds, from the emotional and insensitive like obsession of being stuck with this person. Like, you might have a place where you're like, I keep thinking about this person, I keep ruminating, I keep wondering, I keep imagining, and it might be with or without this person. But a lot of times people stay stuck mentally and emotionally for a long period of time until we're able to help them rewire the story they believe, ultimately to be free. So today we're going to talk about how a narcissist actually distorts your reality. We're going to look at it in 3 different frames. We're going to look at it at past, present, and future, of what this actually looks like, of how a narcissist is trying to shift and shape and mold the perceptions, the thoughts, the ideas, the emotions that you have in order to be able to control you, but ultimately to be able to control the narrative. So let's look into this. So the first one, I want to talk to you about changing the past. Narcissists are great at rewriting history, of looking at the past and saying, hey, this didn't happen. You're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. That wasn't a thing that happened at all. And they look at the past and like, nope, didn't happen. So rewriting is this aspect of where narcissist takes what is true and changes it into being something that is false. Okay, now it is something false. It is something that is completely not true at all, but the narcissist wants to make you believe that it actually is reality. Now, the normal name that we have for this is called gaslighting. Like, it's the manipulation a narcissist uses to change the past, making you doubt your memory, making you doubt your sanity. This is where you start feeling crazy, where you start doubting your own self. It brings up this self-doubt, this lack of confidence, like busts down your self-esteem, all of these things, because the narcissist is trying to make you believe something that's not even true. Like, it gets to a place where you start believing alternate versions of reality. You start believing that he didn't kick the dog when you saw him kick the dog. And when you said, why did you kick the dog? And the dog made a noise like you kicked the dog. Oh, I didn't kick the dog. And you start to believe, well, maybe he didn't. Maybe I was just imagining it. Maybe it wasn't that big of a deal. Did you ever have these questions? Because these might just be like signs that you're actually being gaslit by someone. When you're doubting, when you're wondering, like, well, did that actually happen? No, it probably didn't happen. He probably didn't mean that. It's probably not. And all these things oftentimes are meant to confuse you and manipulate your memory, the sense of what actually happened. So typically narcissists are going to deny things. They're going to deny what they said. They're going to deny what they did. They're going to cause you to question your own recollection of the situation, and you'll start to completely doubt. This produces you in a place of confusion, and ultimately where people feel like they're crazy. Like, crazy of like, I don't even know what's true. I don't even know what's right. I don't even know if what he said was true or not. Like, I think, but, and it makes you start to doubt you. If you're doubting yourself today, it might be a sign that you're struggling inside a narcissistic relationship where someone is gaslighting and abusing you. Like, he might be telling you today that you're misremembering, okay? Like, misremembering something that happened. Like, you're mistaken. Like, that didn't actually happen. You're just forgetful. You're not remembering what I said last week. Yeah, it was a hurtful comment. I didn't mean it that way. I didn't say it that way. You're not remembering it correctly. And it makes you doubt your own feelings, your own validity, like the validity of you. So if this is happening where you're viewing things and you're like, wait a second, was that true? Was that not true? This person might be gaslighting you. Think of it this way. Gaslighting is changing your past, making you believe something that was or wasn't, like flipping it around, constantly flipping around to confuse you and to keep you in that state of confusion. Words are hard today. I'm sorry. All right. So then moving into number 2, which would be confusing the present. A lot of times the narcissist is like, okay, if I can't change the past, then we're just going to confuse the present. We're going to get you in a fog so that you don't actually make the moves that you need to do today. A lot of times we talk about the fog, the fear, the obligation, the guilt, stuff that the narcissist puts on you to make you confused and to make you stuck in the relationship so you don't actually make a move, so you don't actually leave, so you don't actually move forward in your own healing. Oftentimes we'll call this love bombing. Now, love bombing here is this aspect of let me confuse the present. Let me shower you with excessive affection, with attention, with different emotion that you haven't seen before. And you're like, oh, he gets it now. He loves me. He actually cares about me. But it's only for a period of time, and it's only to keep you in the fog. It's only to keep you confused. You see, a lot of times when love bombing happens inside the relationship, like middle of the relationship, it'll happen in like these small spurts. And it'll happen to be able to confuse you about what's actually going on. Like you just caught him with someone else. You just caught him cheating, or you just caught him in a lie, or you just caught him in, something that he did financially that like really devastated. Well, then he's going to switch it around. Well, I was actually going to go on this trip, or I was going to plan this. Like we actually were going on this date, like blah, blah, blah. Like it'll just keep going on and on and on. And so it's like in the moment, you're just like, oh yeah, that doesn't feel so bad now because we're actually connected now, because we're doing on this amazing date, because we're doing this thing that I wanted to do, et cetera, et cetera. Narcissists will do this all the time to just confuse you, to shift your perspective. Okay, it's like smoke and mirrors of like, yep, this just happened over here. Oh, look, something shiny. And you start focusing on that. Okay, so love bombing has this aspect in the relationship of confusing your present, of putting all this other stuff to be able to confuse you and then create this intoxicating moment, and it obscures the red flags that just happened. Like the things you just saw, like, oh, those are really bad. Oh, but look at this. It's really good. Oh, then those don't seem so bad anymore. Like this is good. And oftentimes people will start to go towards like the thing that looks positive when in reality it's just there to be able to cover up the negative. Okay, so it might just be simple of him giving you affection, him giving you gifts. Maybe he finally compliments you, and the compliments are like never there, but he finally complimented you. And it makes it difficult for you to believe that he actually did anything intentionally, that he actually did anything to harm you or to hurt you. So you're like, oh, he just must be struggling. He must be having a bad day. Just must be, whatever. You'll start to justify it, to tell all these different lies in your own mind to be like, it's not that bad. Okay, when reality is just trying to confuse your present to get you distracted from the things that have already happened. So then a narcissist is trying to commit to the future. This is the other way that they try to distort your reality of saying and professing that this change or that this direction is going to happen. So how many of you have had your narcissist say, I'm going to change? Like, leave a comment down below, just type in me. Like, I've had my narcissist say they're going to change. How many of you have actually had them change? Like, transform into a new version of themselves that's not abusive, that's not a liar, that's not a cheater, that's not, and the list goes on, actually transform. And see, what happens is the majority of the time, narcissists will hold a carrot out in front of you and continue to lead you forward saying, oh, I'm going to change, I'm going to get help, I'm going to go to therapy, and they never do. And when they do, it typically is after you just told them you were leaving or that you were filing for divorce. Like, it's not because they actually wanted to, it's because, oh, manipulation's run out, let me try to do something else. So a narcissist is going to use different methods to commit to the future, to make you feel like something's going to happen. Like, this could even be like, hey, I know this awful stuff just happened, but like I just booked and we're going to go this trip to Paris. Like, it's going to be amazing. Let's go ahead and plan it out. And you get all excited because he just committed to something in the future. But reality, he probably actually didn't, or he booked it and he's going to get mad at you, break up with you, go with someone else. Like, there's so many different things that happen with this. But the whole idea is like, let me promise you something that I have no intention to fulfill. And no plan to fulfill half the time. No intention, no plan to fulfill, but it gets me out of the hot water in the moment because then you're distracted. You're looking at the thing that's down the road versus what's actually here. So narcissists oftentimes make grand promises. They make huge commitments for the future, giving you a sense of false hope. They use this tactic to maintain control over you and over your present choices and your actions because it keeps you leading you on. So think of it this way, like he may promise to seek therapy or to change his behavior in the future. Like he might be saying, I'm trying, I'm really working on it, but you don't see change, but he tells you he's trying, so therefore you stay. Okay, keeping you stuck in the relationship with the hope that things are going to improve, but they don't actually ever improve. So this is why you have to go off of the facts, not your feelings, not his words, but you have to go off of what is actual reality. Okay, narcissists will use these 3 different ways: gaslighting, love bombing, future faking, to distort your reality, to confuse you. They will change the past, rewrite the past, and make you believe something different. They will love bomb and give you stuff in the moment to try to confuse you and try to manipulate your emotions so you don't view the past. And they'll promise you stuff in the future to keep you going forward more and more and more, to believe that hope and change is possible when he's not demonstrating that change on a day-to-day basis. If you're watching this today, just like remember, if you're identifying with any of these things, there's no excuse for narcissistic abuse. People want to excuse it away, minimize it, put it down, say that it's your fault, all of these things. At the end of the day, this person's making a choice to abuse you, to run away from accountability, to run away from responsibility. If I can be of any help, please go to rawmotivations.com. Would love to grab a one-on-one with you to be able to help you move forward. Or you can jump into one of our challenges to get involved with community and start that healing process by going to claritychallenge.net today.